We talk some Jazz basketball, some NBA basketball, and more. The guy that used to cover the Utah Jazz, now he just covers the association in general. Out of Chicago now, and with ESPN.com, Eric Woodyard. Hey, Eric.
Hey, what's up, man? How y'all doing?
I'm doing great. So how's the new gig?
Man, pretty good, man. I'm still adjusting everything. I was in Milwaukee last night, but mostly on the Midwest now, but still following the rest of the league, like you said. It's been a great transition, but I'm still figuring everything out, but I can't complain, man. I'm blessed.
That's fantastic. Well, we're still following you from afar and happy for your success, no doubt about that. You're not covering them on a daily basis, but the Jazz are playing good basketball. I think they've won 13 of 14. They ended the winning streak of Indiana last night. They found a groove. They've done mostly against kind of the lesser teams in the league, but, again, doing what they should do against the lesser teams in the league. 30 and 13 right now, third in the West. What do you make of Quinn's group?
Man, I think they're playing phenomenal basketball. I looked at the last couple of seasons at this point, and I think they was 22 and 21 last year and 17 and 26. I think, look at this year, 30 and 13. I mean, that's a much better start. I mean, a lot of people come out, and I think this really dictates the All-Star vote and how great guys start. I think this is why the Jazz weren't able to get a couple of All-Stars because they didn't start well. So, I mean, you talk about playing lesser competition, but I still think by them getting off to this strong start, it's building the narrative on the season. I mean, most of the time this narrative is built within the first couple of months. So I think by them starting off strong, currently in third place in the West, I think it's great for them. It's big for them, and they have a better team, and it's showing.
Are you surprised they're at 30 and 13, and they really haven't had Mike Conley? And when they have had Mike Conley, he's not been the Mike Conley we expected him to have.
Yeah, I really am surprised. I mean, he played really great last night, but obviously, the shot was a little off. He's down, I think, about 13 points a game. So I thought he would be a little more productive than he is, but I still think he's been playing well when he is playing. But I actually am surprised by him sitting out as many games that he's played, that they've been able to play as well. And I think we haven't saw the best of Mike Conley. So, I mean, essentially you still haven't saw the best of the team because Mike Conley's not even fully adjusted. That's just for me watching and observing what I saw. And I think, obviously, we talk about Donovan and Rudy, but those guys have played phenomenal this year. It's fun to really watch Donovan evolve from the guy I watched as a rookie to, this third-year player who I think by far is an all-star. It's fun to watch, honestly.
Well, I'll tell you, it's not getting a lot of pub, around the league necessarily as one of the big off-season signings and acquisitions. But I don't know that many guys have had as big an impact on their team as Bogdanovich has had with the Jazz. And, he's picked up whatever slack that's been left out there by Conley. He's got 9 30-plus scoring point games this year. And on nights where Donovan hasn't had his game, he has. And you know this because you've seen it the last couple of years. There were times where Donovan, especially in the postseason, really struggled because he felt like he had to carry the team and carry the weight of it. I haven't seen that on his face this year because I think Bogdanovich has really helped.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. He's been an assassin all year long. Like you said, I don't think he's really got the national attention. I think it was a lot of buzz around him signing, but I think since he's been there, you can say that for the Jazz in general. I mean, they're a team that's not a rah-rah team. There's not a lot of controversy. So I think when guys are just going to work and doing their job and getting wins, it might not get as much pub as, some of the teams that are a little more controversial. I mean, I'm around the Milwaukee Bucks a lot. You can say the same. I mean, they have the best record in the league. And I feel like people are talking about them, but I still don't feel like, nationally, I mean, it's not a well-known team to most people. So I think the Jazz are kind of going through that same thing. And I think it starts from the front office, the coaching staff. Both of those coaches have San Antonio Spurs background. You look at Coach Bud and you look at Coach Quinn, and where it's no nonsense, let's go to work and get the job done. And I think you're kind of seeing that Spurs DNA on both of these franchises.
Eric Woodyard's our guest, former D-News Jazz beat man, now with ESPN.com, covering the association and a lot of the Midwest of the association as well. I'm just curious, we haven't seen it yet, but if he does get back to being close to the Mike Conley of Memphis, what's Utah's ceiling? If Mike Conley gets back to being Mike Conley, what do you think the Jazz ceiling in the West is, Eric?
I think definitely they can reach the Western Conference Finals. I won't declare as much as saying they can win a title, but I won't put it past them either. I think they have a legitimate shot at getting to the Western Conference Finals. It's going to be tough. I mean, the Clippers and the Lakers are tough. They're so big. And it all really depends on the matchups. I think that's a big thing. I mean, the Jazz really got stuck with bad matchups the last couple of years. They drew Houston in the first round last year. I think they could have reached the second round last year had they got a different matchup. But I think it really depends on matchups, and I think this team is one of the best in the West by far. I mean, they're showing that they're putting it together, and I think they should be rewarded, by getting some guys with some All-Star attention. And this team could definitely get to the Western Conference Finals and possibly even to the finals.
Eric, Lakers are ruling the West right now. Do you feel like they're the best team in the West, or are the Clippers just kind of playing a little possum right now?
I see. It's tough to say, man. They're like 1A and 1B. Yeah, but every time Kawhi Leonard's on the team, I feel like they play possum to when it really matters anyway. So I think those guys, I mean, they're bringing in a lot of different new characters as well, a lot of different players on the team where they're still gelling. I mean, everybody anticipates when guys get signed like it's 2K20 or something where you just automatically come out and just win automatically. I mean, but guys still have to learn how to play with each other. I mean, that's just naturally. If anybody's ever played on the team, you understand that it takes time, to really learn tendencies and guys, go on different ups and downs. It's really like a roller coaster. You're going to have ups and downs. So I think that Clippers team is still figuring things out. Guys haven't been healthy all season. And, I mean, I won't say necessarily play possum, but I feel, anytime Kawhi is on the team that, they're saving their best basketball for when it matters.
It feels to me like there's 3, maybe 4 teams that could win the West, could challenge in the West. It doesn't feel the same way in the East to me. It feels like Milwaukee is far and away the best team, and I'm not sure on a given night who the second best team is. If I push you on it and ask you who's going to push Milwaukee in the East, give me one team.
I would probably say, it's tough to say one, but it would either be Boston or Philly out of those two teams. Obviously, Embiid, he presents a problem. I mean, but the big thing with them is health. I mean, he's all right now. You see Ben Simmons doing his thing, but I think health is going to play a factor in that Philly team. But you can't sleep on Boston either, man. Those guys are hungry. You saw what they did to the Lakers last night. And I mean, once the playoffs hit, it's a totally different game. I mean, so you put me on the spot with that. But if I was a betting man, I probably would say the Boston Celtics. But, I mean, I'm coming off seeing what I saw last night, too, so that might be a prisoner of the moment a little bit. Don't sue me on that.
So if you're going to be a prisoner of the moment, are you more impressed with what Boston did last night or not so impressed with what the Lakers did last night? Because I'm not, in the NBA, because it's such a damn long season, regular season games, I never get too up or too down about, even impressed or not so impressed. But if you're walking away last night, was it that the Lakers didn't bring it or Boston did?
I think it was a little bit of both. I mean, the Lakers, obviously, LeBron went and watched the son play. Anthony Davis just coming back off injury. So it's tough to really, like you say, it's a regular season game. We as reporters, we got to talk about it. It's our job. But it's the same, man. We can't really get too up or too down because it's still only really halfway through the season. We still got a long way to go. All-Star break isn't here. So, I mean, based off last night, I don't know, man. I think it was a little bit of both. Boston was fired up. Kemba had never beat LeBron. I mean, that was the first time he ever done that. And LeBron went and watched the son. Anthony Davis coming back. So it was a lot of different factors that played into that. Plus, they were playing at Boston. So, I mean, that might have gave him a little boost.
If you're buying stock today in a player 25 or under, who are you buying stock in?
25 or under?
25 or under.
I gotta say the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo,
okay.
Man. That guy is phenomenal, man. I mean, that dude is I think for me being around him every day and seeing his work ethic, I watch Donovan's work ethic every day, and Donovan is a phenomenal player. Don't get me wrong, but the Greek freak is just, man. I think him and his brother. I mean, I think just their backgrounds and where they come from, and not having much. Being on the street selling things to give to their family. That's a whole different level of grind that you have to go through, and you see his mental toughness behind that. So where you can be the MVP of the league and still come back better, where you really want to become a better shooter. It's not that he's like, the greatest shooter of all time now, but the fact that he's willing to take the three-point shot when, we saw last year when he ruled and dominated the paint. It's like a modern-day Shaquille O'Neal almost, you know what I mean? Like where he's really expanding his game. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's Shaq, because Shaq is, for me, that's my favorite center of all time. I think he's the most dominant player of all time. So I'm not saying he's that, but it's like a modern-day spin on it where he's like, just as aggressive attacking the paint. But he's willing to improve. So if I'm putting money in somebody, I would say the Greek freak. But, me being around and watching, Donovan as well, I'm really impressed with him. There's a lot of young stars in the league that, make it a fun league to watch. Devin Booker. I get a chance to see Zach LaVine a lot. I get a chance to see a lot of those guys on a daily basis, and it's fun to watch the league. I think the league is in a great place right now.
Oh, I do too. I think, and I love the Greek Freak. I think I'm buying stock in Luka Doncic. He's 20 years old, and he's damn near averaging a triple-double right now, 29 points, 9.5 rebounds, 9 assists per game. And he's got a good cast around him, too. I think that Dallas team is going to get better and better. But I think, he's 5 years younger than the Greek Freak, and he's already doing what he's doing. So, just to be different and contrarian, I might go with Luka.
Man, you can't take nothing against that guy. That kid is phenomenal, man. I mean, him, Trae Young, you can go on and on with, players. And, you haven't seen the best of these guys. They're going to get, pieces put around them to become better teams. And that's the fun part of the league, the debate and discussions and stuff like that. I think that's amazing, that we have a league like that where it's constantly guys evolving from not only from America but from, overseas, and the game is just growing so much, and it's going to continue to get better. You're going to continue to get guys like Luka. And I think what's even more impressive about Luka is that he's not athletic at all. He's doing what he's doing. It's like a modern day, I'm not putting him as Larry Bird, but like a modern day spin on Larry Bird in today's game. So it's so fun in the league. I love watching guys, man. Like I said, Trae Young, Luka. You could go on and on with young guys, man, who are phenomenal in this league.
All right, 2 more basketball things, and we'll get Eric Woodyard out of here with us. Wanted to ask you what your expectation was tomorrow night when Zion makes his debut.
Man, I was really impressed with him in the preseason. The things he was able to do, how strong and how dominant he was. I mean, game one, I'm not expecting this guy to come out and drop 30 points, but I think he will come out, give you 12 to 15 points. He's going to be under a minutes restriction. I think he's going to come out and really try his hardest. He might be a little rusty, but I think he's going to come out and bring it, man. The guy's been wanting to play. I talked to my guy, Andrew Lopez, who covers him out at ESPN. Y'all should check him out. He's around him on a daily basis, and I'm just hearing nothing but good things about him. And he's going to have, I predict this, he's going to have a couple ESPN Sports Center highlights. I think he will tomorrow, so get the popcorn ready. I think it's going to be fun to watch.
It'll be popping tomorrow night. That game's on ESPN. Before I let you go, one Flint guy on another Flint guy. Is Kyle Kuzma going to remain a Laker?
I don't know, man. We hear a lot of speculation about it. I don't see why you would trade him. It's the number one team in the Western Conference, and he's still finding his way. I don't see why switch it up. I mean, everybody's speculating, everybody's talking, but I think Kuz is still finding his way out there. He's learning to play with the best basketball players in the world, and Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And I think he's just learning his way, man. He's had his highs and lows, and he's hanging in there. We see what he's capable of doing on any given night. He can go off for 30 or 40 on any night. The dude can score, but for him, it's continue to learn, winning basketball and trying to get to the next level. And I think he'll stay, man. I'll be shocked if they trade him, but I don't have any intel on that. That's just me speaking. Knowing Kuz personally.
You're Midwest guy. You're not a West Coast
That's
guy.
That's my dude, man. I ain't going to never say nothing bad about my guy.
He's my dude, too. I knew him when he was just a gray shirt at the University of Utah shooting before and after practice. Hey, what's the best part of your new gig?
I think the best part is just learning and being able to be around different people and see how different organizations are run. Obviously, being back in the Midwest is great. But there's a lot of things I miss about Salt Lake City and Utah. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions that I feel like I'm always explaining. Even now, it's like, I'm working where I'm working at, but it's like, you were in Utah, I know you were happy to get out of there, and it's like, I feel like I'm campaigning in some ways, because it's like people just don't know. It's kind of funny, but I love what I'm doing now. I love being around, the new teams that I'm around, but also thankful for the opportunity that I had in Salt Lake City with the Desert News, and I'm still following what people are doing all around the league, and just happy to be where I'm at, man. I'm happy to be telling stories and continue to do the things I want to do.
Well, keep doing your thing. It's been great to watch you make that jump and continue to succeed at ESPN. Thanks, Eric.
Man, appreciate you.
Take care, Eric.